gonna sit out with us during our morning time, or is she gonna go in her kennel?
I'm gonna hold her the whole time.
Okay. So many of you know that we got a puppy, 8-week-old. So this is kind of what it looks like. Now we can't keep anything down there. Someone has taken a risk and left a puzzle on the floor. Everything gets piled quickly in a panic when the dog comes out. Today is May 14th, Thursday, and we're just getting ready to start another day of school. I just made my coffee, and a couple of videos ago I think I showed kind of our schedule, and for those of you who are homeschooling, if you're interested in this, keep watching. If you're not homeschooling, you might want to skip this part because it might be kind of boring. Since January, I've been using this way of keeping track of our schooling, and if anything lasts this long, it works. So as you can see, my schedule, we're on week 18 since January, week 18 of school. This only has 3 days because we took Monday and Tuesday off this week. So this was yesterday, and we're on Thursday. And this does not correlate with the days of the week, this day 2, day 3, day 4, because actually what we've been doing this year is a 10-day school rotation. So then if we miss a day of school for some reason, it doesn't matter. We stick to whatever day that we were on. And that way we stay on track with things like nature study, art appreciation, poetry. So rather than having those things tied to a day, like say if we consistently over 6 months seem to be missing Mondays of school, if poetry was scheduled for Mondays, then we would never do poetry. So on a 10-day rotation, I'm finding if we miss a day of school, it's actually okay. It just shifts everything ahead a day and we carry on. So we still get to do poetry, and I just added in composer study. So this term we are kind of focusing on Robert Schumann, and so every 10 days on day 2, for example, of the rotation, we will listen to something composed by Robert Schumann. And on day 3 of the 10-day rotation, we will do a picture study. And this term we are working on focusing on J.M.W. Turner. And then we have nature study, and there's some other things in this rotation. So this is the main thing that rotates. Everything else is just kind of to help us stay on track with what we're doing. And I got all 4 kids onto one spreadsheet with all of their subjects and all of their assignments. And I can tell you, that is a huge accomplishment. So the other thing that has worked really well since January is having all of my instructor's guides and everything in one inch, I think it's a 1-inch binder. So then I'm not lugging around multiple instructor's guides, and I have everything in here that I need. So we are doing Sunlight W, which is a condensed world history, and so far I'm really liking it. And then these little sticky notes are for the kids' language arts. So Faith is doing her own language arts that correlates with the core W, and she is on week 18 as well. And then the other 3 kids I have sticking on this language arts. So they're doing language arts level 4 or 5 combined. And we are really picking and choosing our way through this. And then back here, these sticky notes with their initials are for their individual science topics. And so this is what he looks at, and then he goes to this if he needs to. His science is getting quite big for his daily work that I could only fit week 26 on. So now he has to go back to the instructor's guide. The other kids, like Joanne is the pink. Hers, she doesn't really have to reference the instructor's guide because I was able to type everything that she needs to do in her day in this tiny box. Calvin's same, and Faith is doing her own thing through Apologia. So she just does her days through there. So the instructor's guide is really just more detailed information about their daily work and their science, and it's also where their worksheets are kept. So they just come to this binder to get them, and then they return them when they're done. Or they put the finished assignment on my desk and then I will look at it and then I'll put it in here. So we've just finished Bible and spelling and history, and we did a few poems, and now we're taking a break making tea before we settle into our read aloud this morning. And there's the puppy again. And so what kind of tea are we making this morning, Robin? This has come into our stores again. It was here a few years ago, and then it wasn't for a few years. Chocolate chip cookie. It is 9:45. Oh, it's so nice and warm out here. It's so cold inside.
What is this one about?
Come on,
Mama,
Indy. I don't know. Leave it alone. Come on. Here we have a bunch of sweet potatoes that we planted not too long ago, and now the purple flowers are starting to come up. And we actually did dig out one of the sweet potatoes about a week ago.
Sweet potato flowers?
Yeah, you know the orange yams?
Yeah, I've seen those before.
Yeah. So now, hopefully, we will get to be eating lots of sweet potatoes in the coming weeks. I just have to figure out when to dig them up. And then we have arugula over there. That's one of, looks like two of the plants have gone to seed.
Where?
And garlic is fallen over. I don't know when those are going to be ready to pick. They don't look very big though. And then we also have the radishes right here. Indy, get her out of there. Thanks. And I honestly don't even know how long that garden is going to last because of the dogs. Oh, are those toy? Yeah, those are toy guns over there. You should probably bring them in. I also have had 2 cartloads of fertilizer and like garden dirt brought in. So that is being spread over the garden today, and 2 more carts will come next week. I was kind of sad that I missed the opportunity of getting the Zebu delivery in here, but yeah, Zebu-led carts bring me my fertilizer and dirt. And then we also have guys here taking down some big pine trees in the neighbor's yard, and
there goes.
There we go. There we go.
you don't hear any tools because they don't use chainsaw. They use just this tiny little hatchet. So that's going on today, and I imagine it'll go on for the remainder of the day. What do you got? What are we working on here?
Boring.
Oh, your narration of castles.
It's hard.
It is hard, but you can do it.
I can't really remember any.
Ooh. Maybe tomorrow you should not draw on the tablet during morning time, but you should actually pay attention with your full brain.
My puppy.
I know. The life of a puppy. A few videos ago we were explaining how we were running out of propane to run our barbecue and our stove. And actually that issue never got solved because there's 2 companies that can supply propane here, and so that you can get orange bottles or green bottles. So you buy a bottle, and then when you want it refilled, you just swap bottles. Once the orange bottles ran out, I think it was in January. Maybe there was already a shortage before we got back to Madagascar in December, but anyway, we have finally run out of our orange gas not too long ago, so then we have been running on a green bottle, which we have 1 of, and normally that one sits here under our barbecue. The reason we didn't get more green bottles, because it's like, well, why don't you just go get gas from the green bottle company? Well, they were not selling new full bottles to customers who didn't already own a bottle. Because of the shortage with the orange bottles, they wanted to not get any new customers, but only serve their current customers, i.e. people who already own green bottles. So we didn't get an extra green bottle. Today, Rob found someone willing to sell their green bottles at work. So I'm going to go get that bottle, and then I will be allowed to go and swap it for a full bottle at the gas station. And then we will have a fuel. So that is one thing I will do today when I take the older 3 out to do a afternoon activity. We'll go get the green bottle from the hangar. Through contacts in the missionary community, I found a good lady who sells chicken breast, and she even delivers it, which is super nice. So she just brought it over today. Okay, so we are going to get gas, and yes, we have become, thank you, we have become
Zombies?
the faceless people.
I have a beard.
Nobody knows if we are frowning or smiling. Here we go. I'm waiting for Rob to bring the gas bottle, the empty one, because, yes, that very confusing explanation I made about the gas bottle. So you need an empty one to exchange for a full one. That's the short of it. So he's coming up. And that is his mask, not a beard.
Arf, arf.
Okay, thanks.
See you.
How are you doing?
Bad.
Why? I know. I just dropped Wesley off to play soccer at a friend's house. Yeah, it's a nice thing for him to be able to do, but when you're the youngest, sometimes it feels like you get left out. Which I don't feel is true, Calvin. You get to do lots of things. So, it's just the way it is.
Why can't I watch a movie at night?
Well, you have to practice piano.
After school.
Well, we'll see. How's that?
Good. Except I want to watch a movie with it.
Sometimes it pays to be the youngest, you know. Because I wouldn't have made this for all of you.
I know. But I want to watch a movie. I'm going to finish up my paint.
Okay, that errand is done. And I also gave myself a haircut, which I've kind of been doing since December even, so turned out okay. You can hide a lot when you curl it.
Some dog. Oh, my God.
Yep, that's a puppy. Yep. They don't even stop to taste it. I don't know if you can hear those trumpets in the background. But if you can, that is a turning of the bones ceremony. There is a cultural belief here that how many years after the burial do they have to turn the bones? 7? After 7 years of the body being in the tomb, they take the body out and then rewrap it and then rebury it. So that is the music. Whoa. Can you do that again?
Do we have peanut butter, Mom?
I don't know, you have to check. So Joanne and Calvin are making a brownie in a mug, I think. Are you making a brownie in a mug?
I think so. Oh, yes. No, basically it's like peanut butter and chocolate.
Ah. And then Wesley is doing his cartwheels. Faith is, excuse me, can I see Faith? Faith is organizing all of our yarn and untangling it, which is So nice for me because I don't have much patience for that kind of a job.
I made this.
A crochet dress for a Barbie without a pattern. So cool. That about wraps up the day today. It was a pretty busy day. And the kids are home from their activities that they were out doing, playing games and soccer and stuff. And the dog is being lively, which is good at this time of the day. Okay.